Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 meeting of the Community Legacy Program. Tonight we'll be making decisions about several applications for grants in the program. Before we get started, my name is Mark Long, and I have been chairing this group for a few years. The town council recently produced a set of protocols for our group, but they didn't have anything about how to elect a chair in that protocol. So I'm going to open it up. Would anybody like to take this position away from me?
I think you are doing an excellent job and you should consider continue doing that.
I agree.
Okay. Any objections?
Hear that railroad train going?
Yeah, I hear. So I'll continue being chair for at least this meeting. Thank you, everyone, for that vote of confidence. We also need someone to take minutes. And again, there wasn't anything in the new standards to say who is to do that. Basically, it won't be very complicated. I mean, we have how many applications? 8 applications. So we just need to make notes as to what our decision is for each of those addresses. Either that would be wonderful. Yes, I failed to mention we have a new person on the group, Leslie Frey. Fry. Welcome, Leslie. So thank you for volunteering. So yeah, they don't have to be too complicated, just our disposition on each of the applicants. So now that we have that out of the way, this is a time for public comment. Is anyone out there in the Emmitsburg arena wanting to make comment? Anyone online? Anyone in the audience? Okay, we'll move on. Next, we have the disposition of the minutes for our March 2nd, 2023 meeting. I take it everyone's had a chance to read those minutes. Any comments, additions, corrections?
Yep.
If not, do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second.
We have, I don't want to get too technical, but since you weren't at that meeting, I don't know if you should be making that motion,
Okay.
Leslie.
Then we'll
I'll
to
make the
Sharon.
motion, Mark.
And
Okay.
I'll
that we
second it.
approve it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of March 2nd, 2023. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? It passes unanimously. We don't have any old business that I'm aware of. So we'll move right on to our business at hand. We have 8 applications requesting a total of $67,236.26 of an available $50,000.
Mr. Chairman,
I have the right-
actually, that number is not accurate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, something looks
Because,
off.
on property H, they automatically recommended the full $12,500 that said it's the maximum. But in reality, their project is only estimated to cost $11,744. So
I'm also looking at the figures on page 2 of the staff memo where all the totals are added up and it. Okay, I see the difference. So yeah, the amount requested is $67,236.26, but the eligible amount
right,
is $48,133.26.
Right.
And we have a total of $50,000 to allocate. So we actually have a eligible amount that's less than what we have to give out. So we will just start at the top of the chart with project A, which is 106 East Main Street. This is an application for siding, gutter, and downspout replacement. And I want a little clarification from Najila, if I can, that there's I take it the top page is the correct figure. There's two applications here. One seems to be corrected. I wasn't totally clear what the figure was.
The corrected figure is the one on the top.
Yeah, that's
Top one.
6,369. Okay,
That's the one that matches her estimate on the paper.
okay. All right, so we have application A at 106 East Main Street. Any comments from other folks on the committee?
You have any?
Nope, I'm good.
Any objection to this one?
Nope.
No.
We want to go ahead and approve it?
I guess since we have sufficient funds to cover all of them, I guess we can do them one by one. We're not going to have to finagle anything, so.
It doesn't appear so, and I have a concern about one or two near the end.
I do too.
So should we make a motion to approve this one, or we can just?
Or we can maybe just do it by consensus till we get through the whole
Okay.
list, and then if we need to refine things, we can do that. So I'm hearing that at least for now, we're approving item A.
Yep.
So I'm gonna pause here just a second. Is this the one? Most of the applications were in pretty good condition. If going forward, if we could somehow request that folks give us some good photos of different sides of what they're talking about. I mean, the photo of this application, I kind of had to guess what was
What
going
about
on here.
The two roofs in the back. This one doesn't look as bad as
Well,
those.
that's not this application. I'm still
Oh,
on
the
first
one you're on.
I'm still on the first one. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I mean, most of them were pretty good, but this one was a little lacking in photos, but I walk by them anyway, so
Right.
I always know what they look like.
Yeah, this had more diagram than it had photos.
And also I noticed in the new standards of procedure for our group, it's to be stated from the applicants how the projects lead to the preservation and rehabilitation of property exteriors. And they should also show how their projects lead to the enhancement of economic sustainability and visual appeal within the designated sustainable community areas. We might need to expand our revised applications going forwards to make that more clear. I mean, some of them, they said they want to replace something. Didn't give much of a reason. I mean, it could be kind of inferred from what they're asking for, but some of them were a little lacking in that regard. And I realize we're still using the application that we've used for years, but we might want to expand on, it's number 7 under the standard operating procedures that the council just passed. Okay, got that out of the way. So we'll go on to number B, letter B, 113 East Main Street. They are requesting a roof replacement. They currently have a metal roof that is deteriorating.
I can look down onto their parts of their roof from my 3rd floor.
I thought you could.
This is a good project. They need it.
Okay. Any other comments? Yeah, I agree. It seems worthwhile.
Yeah.
So we have consensus on that.
Yep.
Letter C, 210 East Main. They also are requesting a roof replacement. Kind of a similar situation as the last one. Any comments on this one?
Can I just clarify? These
Yeah.
are two, the next one is also 210 East
Yeah.
Main. They're two separate.
They're two separate
Residents, okay.
applications for the same property, two different kinds of repair, but the amounts still are underneath the
they're under
maximum.
12.5. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So this looks good to me.
Mhm.
Everyone else okay?
Yep.
And again, at the same address, this is item D, window replacements. Want to replace the old wooden windows with more energy efficient windows. And it should also improve how it looks because they'll be doing away with the storm windows. Any thoughts on this one?
Seems reasonable.
I agree.
Okay. Next one is item E, 219 South Seaton Avenue. This is a flat roof replacement. Just a portion of the house
Yep.
roof. It's just the rear portion.
Right. Looks like it needs it.
Yeah, it seems to be justified.
At least that one does.
Not sure why they didn't want to just do the entire house, but that's okay.
I had the same question. The small.
I guess they're starting small.
The rest of it doesn't leak.
Yeah,
Tune in
Well-
next month or next year.
Yeah, probably. So we're all
Maybe
good
they
with
didn't
that?
Have the finances to
Well,
support. it.
Yeah, that's a good
probably
point.
true.
that's true.
Okay. So we also have item F, that's 415 West Main Street, which is the Presbyterian Church. And we understand that this property is actually not eligible under this program. That there might be another program they can apply to.
Right. I don't know what program per se, but for this state revitalization program, tax exempt organizations or religious organizations are not
Okay.
eligible.
That's interesting because to my knowledge, none of the churches know that. I just stepped down as the president of the Lutheran Church and we certainly did not know.
So
that we
this
were
is
not
really a
eligible.
religious thing. They don't cover religious places.
Right, but what I'm saying is that we didn't know. I'm sure the
That
Presbyterians
should be
didn't
put in
either.
the guidelines too.
Yeah, we may want to make that more clear going forward so they don't waste their time. Because this was one of the most
This is-
detailed applications
I
I've
know.
ever seen.
It's a book.
One step short of needing to be bound.
I know. I gave the whole history
It's
of the
huge.
church going back centuries.
And granted, they have some stuff that needs fixed, but
But I also, before I knew that piece, that they weren't eligible because they're a church or a nonprofit, there was some question whether this would be eligible because it's not visible. The repair they're making is invisible from anywhere unless you have a drone.
yeah,
So I wasn't sure that it was eligible under the facade improvement program anyway. So we'll move on to G. 448 East Main Street. This is the requesting new garage doors and gutters on both the garage and the house.
I have a little problem with this property. For one, yes, it's gonna improve the house, but are they maintaining the house to start with? Because half the paint's off of it on the wooden trim, and is it gonna deteriorate? That gonna deteriorate worse? And under this program, you're supposed to maintain everything. Are they gonna maintain the gutters after they get them in the garage doors?
It's, a valid question. I too looked at this house, and although the garage doors, they're not in
Yeah.
great shape, but they aren't the thing that needs the most attention in my mind.
No,
Yeah, because the wood's gonna rot unless it's taken care of.
Yeah, there's a lot of flaking paint on all the trim of the house. The roof is in bad condition.
How do you go about this?
So there is a clause, at least in the new standards of procedure that the town council passed, that
The maintenance.
the maintenance of improvements is paramount.
But it's
I don't know what,
supposed to be. What I want to say, improve the house the way it looks. What will improve it is painting it, for one, and sanding the stuff that everything's falling off of, and maintaining the woodwork, and they didn't even put in about that.
Yeah.
Thing's gonna fall apart. The gutters will be there in the garage doors, but the rest of it's will go. And it's a 100-year-old house.
they're worried about the gutters not being level. Well, I certainly hope they're not. They're
Yeah,
not
then
supposed
it's
to be
not gonna
level.
drain.
They're not supposed to be level.
and the one photo they had of the one downspout that was separated, all you have to do is take your hand and
Uh-huh.
click it together.
Mhm.
So I have some concerns about this one as to whether or not they'll maintain the rest of the house or
Get the grant.
maintain the new garage
'Cause it's
doors.
pretty bad.
Yeah,
It's not just what shows on this picture. I was down by the house. It's all over it,
mhm.
everywhere,
Yeah, this is,
severe.
this is a rental property.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and it looks to me like the landlord is not,
Properly taking care of it.
Yeah, okay.
because the owner is St. Anthony Consultants in Thurmont, well, on St. Anthony Road, halfway between, but they don't live there.
Right.
Can you add an addendum to the grant that they
So I'm kind of looking at staff here. We're kind of in a conundrum. I mean,
we don't know what to do with this one.
the garage doors are not in great condition, and I guess it's justified to replace them. But when we have a situation that they're replacing something
It doesn't need
that
it as bad as
doesn't
something
need
else.
us as badly as the rest of the house needs it, I mean, do you have any guidance here?
So I would say you make your decision based on what they applied for. I know like the rest of it looks bad, but
Can we make
There-
a condition on it? Because it's supposed to be maintaining their property and stuff and improving it for,
right.
can we
um,
suggest,
I can check with DHCD about that. I don't know if
right?
conditional.
I hate to let it go unnoticed because you really do notice that even driving by.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it is a distraction from the,
They say it's gonna
aesthetic
make
of the
it
town.
more aesthetic, a better appearance, for us on Creamery Road and Main Street, but it's not. It's the painting and stuff that, I mean, it all needs taken care of, not just one little place, especially an 100-year-old house.
Right.
And that's probably one of the worst ones on Main Street.
It would be interesting if in the application there was anything about them planning then to paint.
yeah, well, yeah,
This
we
may
don't know
be
that.
their starting way to start putting money into the property. I haven't seen the actual application, which is, I need to,
Oh, you don't have the application?
like that they're applying to. Is this it? It's a paper application that
Yes.
they,
Yeah.
okay. So I have seen it. So yeah, there's nothing that really goes into them explaining that this would be the starting
Well,
place
yeah,
for
we don't know
something
that.
that they want to continue on over the couple years, because I don't know that we can assume otherwise that this is all they're going to do and that's it. And honestly, I feel like the funds are here. If they don't get granted to this property owner, they go back to the state. So do we want to at least honor them updating some part of that property and hopefully starting or having plans to update the rest? So those are just two things I'm
With
thinking.
that
And-
type of person or outfit there, can you assume that they'll update it?
So
Or just reiterate the maintenance part on of improvements as well as a house? For it to be aesthetically positive for the community.
Right. Also want to let
We
you know
could just
that,
recommend, right?
yeah, right, you're just recommending, not really deciding whether they're getting funding or not, because that lies with the Maryland Historical Trust.
Mhm.
So,
So Leslie made a good point that we don't know if they may be planning other repairs, but again, we don't know that they are. But I think it is important that we be,
Take the initiative. to push
what's the
through.
word I'm looking for? I lost the word. We should be aware that this is taxpayer money inevitably that's being spent, and it should be spent wisely. And I know there was some criticism from some of the town council about, how the monies were being spent. And I have concerns that, they're talking about replacing the doors because there's a glass pane that's broken in the garage door. Well, a glass pane can be replaced very, very easily for about $10.
Yep.
And the gutter that's falling apart that can be snapped back together.
I find it interesting. They say that using the architectural grade door will slow down traffic and increase the vibrancy of the town.
I know, I saw that too.
This is their justification for using the more expensive doors instead of one that's $5,000 less. And maybe using the $5,000 to get some paint.
Yes, so the doors could have been maintained for half a gallon of paint,
Uh-huh.
basically. So I'm not feeling really inclined to even approve this, quite frankly. Unless we want to make it contingent for us, for them to give us more information and we come back to this. If they can explain what their intentions are longer term as to what they plan to do as far as maintaining the house, we could take another look at it.
Mhm.
you can certainly,
I think that's a
revisit
good
it.
idea.
Yep.
At least that way we know what their agenda is.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Mhm.
So I think for that one, for now, we're
Hold.
not approving. And if a letter could be drafted explaining that our committee just has concerns about long-term maintenance for this property. And if they can give us some idea of what their plans are, we might be inclined to take another look at their application. Is that
I
okay?
agree to that.
Mhm.
I don't have a
Yep.
problem looking at it again.
And then our final application is H 500 East Main, requesting gutters and downspouts.
This application is totally incomplete.
Yep.
And there are no pictures.
No pictures, no description of what they're planning to do,
and
no witness signature. And it's not like he didn't have time to do it. He submitted it on the 8th.
And he's asking for full payment,
Well,
basically, rather than half,
I think he didn't
Yeah,
understand
he
that
didn't
part of the
understand that
process, but
probably.
But I looked at these gutters and downspouts. I don't quite honestly see anything wrong with them. Did you look at them?
I didn't see, I walked past, I didn't see anything that required replacement.
I didn't either.
Now, if the fascia boards are rotting away, that's another matter. But
Well,
but
you
it
can
didn't
pretty
look
well
like
see
it.
them because this type of gutter, the half round gutters
Mhm.
are away from the fascia board.
Yeah,
So they were fairly visible. And he didn't say anything about
No.
fixing rot of the fascia.
didn't say anything.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
There's nothing with
There
it
was no-
except for an estimate.
there was no justification in this application.
No pictures,
Also,
no nothing.
he did send me pictures. I reached out to him for pictures. He did
Okay.
send some, and it's an oversight. I forgot to include that. in it.
Okay,
So I can go print those out right now if you want to see.
I honestly don't need to see them.
Okay.
No,
Well, unless there's something I missed.
Okay.
You might see something at the top if they have something toward the top with the
Do you-
fascia.
Can you get them printed pretty quickly?
Yeah, yeah. If you just give me
Yeah,
5.
we'll
Yeah.
take a look, just to be fair.
Mhm.
We will just take a break for a few moments.
How long do we have that we can give this guy to come?
I have to ask Najila that.
How long do we have that we can put that one on hold and revisit it?
We have some time because we're still finalizing the grant agreement with the state. So,
Like a month?
yeah, because their system is down, so it'll probably take a while. I can't tell for sure, but if you want to visit this later,
Will you put a timeline on his letter then? To get back to you
okay,
for the one that putting on hold?
okay.
So it's within your timeline, right?
Let's let her get the photos printed.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, 4, yeah.
Did you sign up for your judge training? When you take it?
April.
Yeah, it still had a bunch of openings in April, I probably.
I did it after the cruise, so I didn't want to do it immediately. I can tell you the date because I wrote it down.
Oh, I just. Curious.
Hmm?
I was just curious.
It's not a Wednesday, I'll tell you that.
Nope,
I did it
can't be Wednesday.
Tuesday. Tuesday the 9th at 8:45. 8:45 to 1.
This is Chief Judge.
Because they have some at night, they have some in the morning.
Yeah.
I'd rather do morning.
Yeah, I get too sleepy for evening meetings. Or training session,
I usually
trainings.
go to bed
Oh,
early.
Board of Elections training session in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been election judge too?
I did it 1 year.
Mhm.
What, 2 years ago? Yeah. It's too much.
It's a long day.
He did a good job though, but he didn't want to move. I mean, he didn't want to take a break.
I would have been more eager to take at least one break if somebody had told me my lunch was there. But
Everybody's lunch. I know that's a bad thing. When we have it come in like that, everybody steps at once.
nobody even told me that if they'd come.
And they didn't.
No. I just kept working because food hadn't come yet.
I apologize to you for that.
Well, I blamed it on the other head judge.
Huh?
I blamed it on the other head judge.
Yeah, because I was always busy. She was the king of.
But
She's more social. Put it that way.
Some are like that.
well,
Yeah, that hurts. Oh, well, I know you were up with Spell. That was Pat. Not Pat.
I think she had been doing it for some years before I started.
You took her place.
Yeah.
That was good too. I don't know who else was up there.
She was all, we were both new. Both- First time we'd ever been election judges, we were both chief judges.
That's how I was put in my first year. I got my signed up for it. Got my name. And I followed it. Who else? It's a woman that was a commissioner. Excuse me. She passed away. Sad. Not
She
Joyce.
was,
No. She was a lion president too. She was a commissioner, but she was up from Montgomery County too, and she had been a chief judge down there, and I called her. I said, I got a letter from the election office, and he said, chief judge. I said, what's that mean? And she said, you're in charge of it. I said,
the buck stops here.
and I said, I was a town election. Done in county. Oh, I studied hard. Cause that was the first year. No, the next year's when we had the early baby. The first one. Way back then, that was only get to senior, so it's crazy. And Stuart was crazy. Everybody was like. The Lord, they were coming into the parking. Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't want early vote.
No, for the
Oh,
candidates
they-
and stuff, election, yeah, electioneering.
Yeah, electioneer.
But they kept coming into the parking lot. Stuart, you need to check them out there and get some out. Yeah, it was crazy, and then Stuart wouldn't vote until he was in the house. Back in 1,000.
What's that?
So-
We could have just passed it down the road.
Yeah, we didn't need a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry.
yeah, spoil us. We'll expect to be treated that way all the time.
He always comes and watches.
Who's?
Jack's at all the meetings, aren't you?
Okay, I'll just pass these around.
Not all of them are in color, sorry.
Oh, that's
The
okay.
rest of the color.
Thanks.
Together, but that's on a different culture. Oh, you said, look, beggars are going into the gutter. But that could be bad.
It probably is,
You
actually.
think?
It's not supposed to be right in it.
Well, not down.
It's not supposed to be.
don't know. I don't see anything on those gutters that I'd be unhappy with.
Yeah.
Actually, they look pretty good compared to, especially these that are here. These must be new.
They're not your, I don't think they're your cheapo aluminum gutters that you get nowadays.
No,
They look like they're galvanized.
Yeah.
This one is longer than that one.
Uh-huh.
This is 500 East Main.
Yes.
Now, as to them
Is
not
this the
being
yellow
level,
house?
this
The
is,
cream colored house?
yes,
Yeah.
I thought so.
across from Dollar General.
Yeah. Did that used to be the store?
No.
Oil?
No,
Oh, no.
no, Boyles is farther up the hill.
I didn't know.
The only thing I see that might be an issue is that little spot there, but that could just be flake paint.
And I looked here and it doesn't look like it's
Yeah.
gone through. Now, I do see here where, yes, he's right, that they're not level, but they need to be the other way.
Oh, yeah,
They're sloping downhill away from the downspout. But,
that's just a matter of reading.
mhm.
And
this
this
one
one
looks-
addition anyhow?
this one is sloping just fine. Assume that the roof is more or less level.
Here's a novice question.
Okay.
This just seems to end,
Uh-huh.
as does this, and it
Mhm.
doesn't look like there's anything else captured
Because of the design of that piece, it would be very difficult to get gutter on that.
all the way around there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that just runs right off the front of the
Yeah.
house anyway.
Down.
Into that window.
Well, hopefully past the window.
Yeah.
It'll shoot out the window. And I had looked at that when I was at the house.
Are these usually attached?
They are attached, but
It
because of the
is
nature of this design, that they're kind of suspended out in the air a little bit.
at the end.
These brackets here, there's brackets here. holding that. Let's see.
I do see something that across there.
Yeah, well, that's it, actually. See that little thing there?
It might magnify.
So,
It's hard that there really is very limited description about
Mhm.
any narrative to tell on a lot of these applications, the purpose of the grant, why they're doing it.
well, that's what I was getting at the beginning when you.
Yeah.
I said we need more of an explanation. for some
But
things.
his is significantly less complete than
Yeah.
any of the others.
Yeah, because I didn't say anything about rotting.
We're back.
Yeah, lacking more information, I don't see the need for it.
Yeah, I don't either. So at this time, I think we're disapproving that one. The last one, H. Unless, I mean, since we'll be waiting on a response from the one before this, if the guy at 500 East Main wants to give us a better explanation for why he thinks he needs gutters and downspouts, I
Mhm.
guess when we reconsider the other one, if we do, we could reconsider his as well, but at face value, I don't see the need for it. I mean, I don't see how it's going to improve the look of the house or the look of the town or take care of any repair
Problems.
issues or problems or anything. I think we'll reject that one.
I guess I would move that we approve A through E and put G and H on hold, lacking more information.
Okay, do I hear
I
a second?
approve. Yeah,
I can do
Second.
that.
We have a motion to approve projects A through E. Letter F is not eligible, and we are not approving G and H, but we'll give them an opportunity to give more explanation. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? It is approved unanimously. Thank you all.
Motion to adjourn.
Anything else we need to do, Najila? Oh,
I'll have a comment.
another public comment. Yes. Is there any other public comment? If not, I think we're done. We're adjourned.